Hello everyone, welcome to this training. My name is Leah Melquist and I am a diamond here with World Global Network, and I'm just excited to welcome you to our team. We are always just so honored and blessed to have new team members, and I absolutely love getting people off to a new start. So the purpose of this training is to kind of give you some insight and some really good lessons that we've learned along the way as we've poured into personal development and really built this business over the last 9 months or so. So I'm just excited to have you here and share a little bit of information with you. So I'd like to start with a little bit about Fabio Galdi, our CEO. Since I've been with the company since February, and which is pretty close to, the early on pre-sale phases, and I had the privilege of going to Thailand to hear him speak at our first international convention. And it's at that point that I really got my belief in this company and him not going anywhere, because I understand fully what he is doing and where we are going with this. So in case you didn't catch it in the presentation, he is just a tech genius. One of the first people developed LCD touchscreen, one of the first to bring the internet to Italy, and just has quite the list of accomplishments in the tech space. But then we got to hear his story of why he made the move from telecommunications to wearable tech. And one thing I loved was just how incredibly humble he was. So he has had much, much success in his past. And you can just see that he's very, very excited about the difference he's about to make in many, many people's lives. So his father was a diabetic, and as he's working for the Italian government and working towards retirement, they had big plans as a family to travel, the grandkids and all that. And the effects of the illness started taking over, and his quality of life really went downhill. And it was just after he was about to retire, and the illness actually took his life. And Fabio just never felt more helpless. So he was just, here he is, this inventor genius, and there was nothing he could to help impact quality of life for his father. So it was shortly after he passed away that he was actually watching a movie, and it was a sci-fi type movie, and there was this device called the Halo in it. And basically it came down to, if any of the characters, if they got hurt, they could push a button on this device and it would do a full body scan and give a systems update. And this is truly when the vision of the Halo was born. And at that point, he made a decision that not only would he create a device that could make a difference in people's lives, but that also can transdermally do an accurate blood sugar reading. So it really can provide an option for diabetics that can really improve the quality of life for them. And since then, he has brought this company public, January of 2016, and then the stock has gone through the roof. And he has also assembled an incredible corporate team. So before I kind of go into some of them, the other thing that means a lot to him is, he saw his father work so incredibly hard and then just at retirement end up losing his life. And he sees around the world, and I know this is a very prevalent story in the US, that 75% of people can't retire. They go to school, get the degree, and work the 40-40 plan, 40 hours for 40 years, 40 hours a week, and at the end of it, a lot of people can't even retire. So he knew by bringing this through the network marketing method of distribution that many hundreds of thousands of families could be financially impacted. And it would be irregardless of race, education, sex, any of it. It's just if someone had vision and hard work that they could completely transform their life. So he has now assembled this awesome corporate team. So we have Antonio De Rosa as our chief design officer. As we know, what he did for Apple as a concept designer for the iPhones 5 through 7, won numerous Photokina awards, and is now innovating here as our chief design officer. We also have a gentleman named Keith Halls. So if you're not familiar with that name, he was actually one of the 6 initial founders of a company in the network marketing space that went on to do $3 billion annually. He is an icon in this industry, and he has since retired. But he came and spoke at an event we had this summer, and he just wanted to share his insight, knowing the background and that he's been through it all in this industry, he says what you guys are about to do is going to change the game of network marketing. And with that, he has actually decided to come out of retirement and join our board of directors because he wants to be a part of this, because he knows we are absolutely going to disrupt this industry. So that was really exciting and affirming to hear. And then also, just like when you think about this, like this team of innovators, it's no surprise why this company is exploding right now. We are going to make such a difference in the world. No more than ever, or now more than ever, in the history of our economy, people are looking for solutions, and then they just have no idea of where to turn. I mean, I would imagine that every one of us right now knows someone that's going to go to bed tonight and pray for an opportunity, pray for something to get them out of their financial solution or situation, and we absolutely have those solutions. So the next thing is your why. It is so important, and I know this is talked about a lot. You may have heard this, and some people say it's so cliche, but it means something. It is so incredibly important. You have to have a why that literally, when you think about it, it brings all of your senses to a heightened state and makes you want to cry, honestly. It should feel so real, because when you truly understand and define your why, it's going to help you stay focused. It's going to be a magnet that pulls you through the challenges in this business. And in any types of business, there are challenges, and your why is what will get you through it. So I want you to think about why you decided to become a World Global Network partner. Was it to make a difference by helping people live a healthier lifestyle? Is it for financial freedom? Is it to create a life for you and your family that you deserve? I want you to spend some time, and I want you to write it down. You need to post it and put it someplace where you're going to constantly see it and be reminded of it, because anybody that's been successful in this industry has had a very, very strong why that just moves them. I have mine just right behind my computer so I can see it every single day. I want to be able to build my own lifestyle. I want to be able to create a life for my family and work to accomplish our dreams, not help someone else accomplish theirs. And we will do that, but not work for somebody else while their dreams are being accomplished and not mine. I want to give my children a lifetime of memories and life experiences that will enhance and create the people they grow up to be through travel. And I want to retire my husband so he can focus solely on his passions of photography and airbrushing. We want to give big through our church, and without this financial freedom, none of this is possible. And some people I know can get uncomfortable with the money talk and feel greedy, and I want to give you permission to release that. There is nothing wrong with desiring more money in life. It just gives you more options, okay? And that's so important for you to understand. And at the end of the day, it's not even about the money, which is what's so cool about this industry, because no one is successful without helping a lot of other people become successful. It's all about who you help in the process of fulfilling your dreams, all the people you're going to help along the way. And the money is just a byproduct of that. In no other industry will you find that. Okay, so here's some things I want to set you up for success. I want to prepare you, and just so you have the right mindset going into this. So this, being an entrepreneur, owning your own business, network marketing or traditional business, it takes work, okay? Top earners in this industry work their butt off. The thing is, and why they say, oh, only a certain amount of people make it, is because most people aren't willing to do the work. And that's when it comes back to your why. Is your why big enough that you're going to put the boots to the ground and do the work that day in and day out that it takes to accomplish your dreams? Okay, you have to think like an entrepreneur, not like an employee. Okay, that the only way that this is all going to happen is if you put in the work. Okay, the skills, there's going to be skills that you need to commit to learning. You can't go into a business or learn a new trade and not expect to need to skill up and just automatically become successful. Okay, commit to learning about how to invite people, about prospecting, how to do good follow-up, how to create relationships, navigating objections, inviting people to events. This is all some of the skills of our industry that you're going to learn along the way. So just commit that it's going to be a learning process, and we all have to go through it. There is no shortcut, okay? But these skills will set you free. Okay, the other thing is you need to commit to focusing. We live in such an unfocused world. We get so distracted so easily. So again, that comes back to the why. Okay, if that why is powerful enough, when sometimes something inspires us, we got all excited, we're gonna rock this. And then the new season of Game of Thrones comes on, and all of a sudden that also becomes equal in priority to taking time to do our business. So that why has to be powerful. We need to focus. We need to set aside daily time to touch our business. And the last piece I want to say on here is mental toughness. So it's going to take some grit. Okay, you're gonna get way more no's than you are gonna get yeses. The people that you thought were gonna be a shoe-in are gonna tell you no. Your friends might tell you that you're crazy. Your family might not support you. Everybody has their stories of I thought this would have been so easy. That you're good. It takes grit, because that rejection, if someone's not prepared for it, it'll take them out of the game way early on. Okay, so just keep the mindset that I don't need to convince them, but they're not going to convince me. Okay, you don't need to be spending time convincing anyone. You share with them the facts, you share with them the visions and why you're excited. If they're not open to it, you just move on. So this slide is one of the most important, I think, of this entire presentation. So you're going to put some effort in, obviously. If you want to be successful here, like I said, it's going to take work. In the beginning, you may feel like you're underpaid, for you to be drastically overpaid in the future, because you put more time in than the money you're seeing early on. Okay, you don't get paid here on what you do, you get paid here on what you start. Do things now that others won't, so you can have down the road what others can't. Guys, I want every single one of you to, as you watch this presentation, to commit, to be here 1 year from now. Okay, divorce yourself from the results of your first year and just commit to learning. Typically in this industry, the first year is all about becoming competent in the business. You're going to earn while you learn. So it's a beautiful thing. You'll still continue to be able to make some money, but your first year is just about learning those skills, becoming good at your craft, navigating what feels comfortable to you and how you talk to people. Okay, we made about $50,000 here in our first year, but for full income disclosure, see the bottom of WorldGN.com. I was also in another company for 3 years prior to that. Okay, so I've learned, I've put some time into learning how to, really connect with people and be diligent about follow-up and how important that is. And so I've poured into myself a little bit for developing the skills of the industry. Okay, I also am absolutely obsessed with personal growth. I'm always reading and listening to things that can better me as a businesswoman. Okay, so that's really important too. Nobody can shortcut their journey of success. Okay, our upline, Seville and Rachel Coe, they made $350,000 in their first year here. But Seville Coe also was in another company for 5 years and has been a meticulous student of the industry over the last 5 years. So he's put in his time. So that's where you can see that those that pour in and continue to develop themselves, that the reward down the road for those that stick with it can be very, very significant. But you have to be willing to put in that time in the beginning. Okay, so on average in this industry, it takes about 3 to 5 years to start making some really, really meaningful money. Okay, we've seen it happen a little quicker here at World, I'm going to be honest, but most people have had that growth time also. Okay, but 3 to 5 years. 7 years in this industry for people that stick with it and continue to be consistent in their business and learn and grow. In 7 years, on average, people become world class and are making more money than any other career path could have ever imagined them giving them. Okay, because they've become an expert in this and they've been diligent about being consistent. So you're going to age 7 years anyway. If you have a traditional job, you're going to work that job day in and day out for 7 years anyway. Okay, so why not pour into something and become world class and completely change your family's life? Okay, this slide is so important for you guys to understand. So we've built a system here, and this is you're by watching this, you're right in the middle of it, to create duplication and to set you up for success. So at the beginning, your sponsor, your upline leaders, we're here to help you learn. We're going to be your guides. We're going to tell you what to do. We're going to show you how to do it. We're going to help you by doing a launch call for you. We'll do 3-way calls for your prospects. And then as we do that, you're also learning the craft and learning how to do the system. And then you will transition into doing some of it yourselves. Because our goal is for you to become completely independent of us as soon as possible. Okay, we teach duplication of ourselves so we can have leveraged time and income. So that's the ability to create business owners around the world that are trained then to go off and do it themselves. That's one of the gifts of this industry, is that leveraged income. So we're not down, as we are consistent, stick with this, we're not constantly trading time for money like a traditional job does. You work an hour, you get paid your hourly rate. Here with leveraged income, that what you're paid down the road is very, very significant, and it's not dollar for hour. Okay, so the first step is to get your first 2 people, become a team builder. Okay, that's we cheer you on to do it in your first 48 hours because it's when you're excited. You come in, it's the first people you want to talk to. Usually it's somebody really in your close network that comes on as your first 2 business partners. We definitely recommend building with family and premium packs because of the duplication and the earning potential. And plus it'll get you right to that 20% team volume commission that you'll lock in for life. Okay, if it happens to be single bands, you'll get 10% until you get the 500 sales volume, which is the equivalent to a family pack on your right or left side, or 5 single bands on your right or left side. The second step is to go team developer, and that's just helping those first 2 get their first 2. Okay, it's creating that duplication. And once you do this, you have unlocked the rest of the comp plan. And again, you don't have to requalify. You never have to repeat this. You're going to continue to build your business and enroll people and help them enroll people, but you don't have to requalify to get what this gives you. You're now going to start to receive the check matching bonus for life. Okay, this is something we really teach in our team, and it's called the 2-a-day phenomenon in network marketing. It's just about consistently exposing 2 people per day. Okay, we know the key to building a network marketing business is exposing new people to your product or opportunity. Okay, that's any business in this industry. So I assume you would agree that if you aren't doing new exposures, there's no conceivable way your business can grow, right? So you have to be piquing the interest of new prospects in order to have new people seeing your presentation. So the two-a-day phenomenon is just simply this: getting 2 people a day to check out your 3 and 7-minute video. Okay? Do you agree that you can definitely get 2 tools a day out? Okay, whether it's someone you meet at a gas station, we're going to talk to you about building your list. It's, going to your list and connecting with somebody in your warm market. Maybe it's somebody sitting next to you on a plane. That's one of the most fantastic ways. That and driving in an Uber, somebody's Uber, one of the easiest ways that you can get that video out, because it's through small talk. How often are you just like, hey, my name is, how are you? What do you do? And you just start that small talk. And when you talk about you're a part of a technology company doing life sensing technology, hey, can I send you a 2-minute video? It's as simple as that. Okay, so getting 2 people a day to check it out. Somebody at a restaurant. Okay, the question is, will you do it? Okay, it's all up to your will, and determined is will. Your will is determined by how motivating your why is. See, it always comes back to this why. If your life depended on getting 2 new exposures a day done, of course you'd have that done by 9 a.m. But because most network marketers don't place nearly the level of priority on their business, most go to bed each night and without even exposing just 2 new people. Okay, so this means they really just don't see their business success as a clear priority. Okay, so no matter where they come from, it's just exposing 2 a day. Own this process and duplicate it, and your life will never be the same. So you can see by the chart over here on the right what that looks like, because as you from the get-go commit. I'm just going to talk to a minimum of 2 people a day. Some people with big goals, they say I'm going to do 5 a day, but at least do 2. That's all as long as you do 2, you will be successful in this business. And then when your team members come on, we teach them to do the same. And what that duplicates will create an empire of a business for you, provided you are consistent with it. And of course, with that, you also have to follow up with the people you show the video to, answer questions and get them on 3-way calls and all that, finish out the process, but at least start 2 new a day. So go to your master list. Do not prejudge people. People that you think will be great won't. People that you think never would will. You will always be amazed. Plus, you never know when people's circumstances maybe have changed. What has changed in their life that they need something now. Okay, what you can control is putting people in front of the information. You can't control if they say yes or no, but you can control putting the information in front of them. Okay, and again, just driving home the consistency about this. I talk to a lot of people in my cold market, and a lot of phone conversations with people that have been in the industry, tried a few different companies out, and we really talk through that conversation. Like, you know what, I see this as different, and I've never been successful before, but I think this one would be different. And I don't let the conversation go past that. I spend some time with them talking about that. So digging into their past experiences. Were they consistent? Did they truly treat their business like a business and consistently work it? And nobody yet has said, well, yes, actually I did. I was really diligent. It just didn't work out for me. Most or every conversation I've had, which there's been, I would say at least 100 conversations over the last 9 months, is that no, they weren't. They were honest with themselves. They were excited for the first month and then just kind of dabbled casually. And that's why they say it never worked out for them, because they weren't actually consistent. So you have to decide again that why and those dreams they're important enough, and you're going to be consistent with your business. That's all it takes. 2 a day consistently. If you knew right now, if I just commit to this, it will radically change my life, would you do it? And then this tracking system here is also going to be linked from this document, and it's a great way to kind of keep yourself accountable and write down, okay, here's my 2 contacts, here's where they went out, here's where we're at with it. And it helps you evaluate also. So if somebody calls me and says, I'm kind of struggling right now, I'm not really getting anywhere with this, we talk about what your numbers. And you have to track them to kind of know this information. So how many people are you reaching out to in a week? How many are getting to watching the video? How many are seeing a business overview, getting on 3-ways? And after that, how many people are choosing to get in the business? And that way we can kind of troubleshoot around where the breakdown is. It's pretty easy, and then we can fine tune, because maybe we found where your growth point is. But if you don't track it, you can't measure it. And if you don't measure it, it's hard to improve it. So I really recommend having some sort of system to kind of track what you're doing. So kind of walking through the rest of this document here, this Fast Start Business Guide. So step 1 is about skilling up. So people are programmed to be skeptical. So you have to learn the skills of building value, because dollars will follow value. So how you do some of this is by, getting on the Saturday World Orientation Training. That happens every Saturday at 11 Central Time. You will find that it's repeated information, like the main body of the training, but it's a new presenter each week. So there's always a little different flair on it and how they do things. So I always find value in it, even though they're kind of presenting the similar information. But at the beginning, there's also updates. I always try to listen. And if you can't get on it live, you can listen to it recorded after the fact, because it's live streamed through Facebook. So never stop learning. I always have something playing when I'm driving, when I'm folding clothes. I always take opportunities of that where it typically would just be silence, or I'm not doing anything with my mind, and I might pull up a YouTube video or listen to an audiobook. I don't have a whole lot of time to sit down with a traditional book, but Audible and audiobooks have become my best friend. Okay, so again, continue to develop yourself. Jump on the weekly World Business Overviews. So those are every Tuesday also at 2 and 8 Central Time. That is how I learned early on to become confident in talking about this opportunity, and then eventually was leading the business overviews myself, because I would just listen to it. Even if I didn't have a guest on, I would just tune in, listen to the information, and it gave me the confidence to be able to have good conversations. But again, continue to earn while you learn. Don't feel like you need to master this all and have done all these things before you begin to share. It will all come together, and the more you start to share, that gives you that practice as well. So step 2, create your contact list. This is the lifeblood of your business. Okay, you'll start with your hot within your warm market. So people that you're, entrepreneurs, people that are, motivated, full of energy, those kind of people that you just think about, you're like, oh my gosh, I would love to work with them. Okay, and do not prejudge, or you are truly limiting your potential, like I had said. There is a link to a memory jogger in here. It'll help you think of everybody you know, and it's so important not just like, oh, I have them all on Facebook, or they're all in my phone. Whether you write it out with pen and paper, or you use the attached Excel spreadsheet to create your list and keep notes on, you have to have a list. Again, people that are successful, they always work from a list, and it's constantly expanding. It's never, once you create your list, it's not like, okay, my list is done. You will every day, typically, or every week, we meet new people through, business activities or social events, and we're just always connecting. So when you connect with a new person, go back and add them to your list. Okay, we like to say, until they flat out say no, they stay on your list, and you just continue to build a relationship there until you see if this is something that your business, as from a customer or the opportunity, would be of benefit to them. And then I like this, stack the deck in your favor. It's really important to surround yourself with positive people. If you feel like everyone in your circle is just an energy suck and is not supporting you and pulling you down, you might want to evaluate that. So how can you get yourself plugged into positive, business-minded people? In our community here, we have a group on Sunday that gets together called 1 Million Cups, and it's all entrepreneurs sharing what they're doing. So that kind of thing is awesome to attend. So just find things in your community that you can really find and surround yourself with empowering people that are going to help you. So the third steps is connections and conversation. So now that you have you're working on your skill set, you have your contact list go. Now you're going to start to connect with people. Okay, and then this is obviously one of the most important steps, is to actually reach out to the people. This can be done through Facebook Messenger. It can be done through text messages, phone calls, there's a couple that's very successful in this industry that is built their business all around the coffee shop interview, they call it, where they just make sure they're meeting people for coffee. Now, of course, that's just people in your local area then, but at least once a week, sitting down and just authentically connecting with someone and not making it about a business meeting, but just hearing about them and their life. And now you've created that relationship or reconnected, and at some point, what you have to offer might be of benefit to them. Okay, so it's just about and one thing I also recommend is making that personal connection. So you can start the conversation through a Facebook message or a text, but what we've seen is once people see the video, getting them on the phone. Hearing your energy and what you're excited about is going to, or very likely could make the difference of somebody saying no thank you to seeing the business overview or being open to checking it out. So that's really important, not to be just terrified of the phone and avoiding it completely. Okay, the board of directors, I like to refer to them as the people you would really like to work with the most. So as you're starting and going through your contact list and you're looking at oh my gosh, I would love to have them on my team and they would be so fun to do this with. And those are the people you're going to want to call first. Okay, who do you want to launch your business with? Again, those motivated, connected, inspiring individuals. Okay, and then the other thing here is the one thing that you will hear as there's different trainings and whatnot that you can plug into, but a very common theme is to just really connect with people and have meaningful conversations. So put yourself in a position where you are listening and to serve them, not to sell them. Okay, does what you have to offer, after they see it and are listen to it, would it be something that would benefit them? And when you kind of can change your mindset like that, it becomes not as scary or as to reach out to people. Does what I have to offer from a product or a business perspective, could it serve this person? Okay, so so just some example words: the board of directors, the people that you want to reach out to first. So language I used when we first started, or kind of what really resonated with me, is just calling them up and just say, hey, I want you to know something. I am launching a business in the technology industry. Right now, the stock is climbing through the roof, and I think there is a fortune to be made here. We anticipate making a good amount of money and affecting a lot of lives in the next few years. The people that lock arms with us right now are going to get to benefit the most from our efforts because of getting to come in first and benefiting from anything that happens after that. I am totally fine if you pass, but the last thing I want is for you to come back to me a year from now and ask why I didn't tell you about this. So would you just be open to taking a look at a video? Okay, most people are not going to say no to that. So, okay, maybe you're at a restaurant and you really like the server's personality. They just are dynamic, outgoing. How I would kind of make a little bit of an intro there is, hey, you have a great personality. So how long have you been serving? So is this kind of your long-term gig? What do you want to do? And just listen to them, okay? And depending on how they respond, I'd love to send you some information on what I do. Or let's get coffee. Here, if you're open to giving me your phone number, I can send you a 2-minute video. Okay, or I'd love to have somebody like you on my team. Would you be open to taking a look at a video? Okay, anything like that. And they can text. I just usually have them text me right away, so I have their phone number that way. Okay, and you do it in a way that's not creepy. You create a good conversation with them so they can tell that you're not a creeper, you're a normal person. Somebody like my sister or somebody you're a close family member. Honestly, our first weekend when it was those phone calls that I was making, I just basically sent her a text and said, hey, I need you to watch this today and then I'm calling you. This is important. So just, I can be more forthcoming with it because she's my sister and I know how important this is and I wanted her to be one of my first people on my team. So other people just in general, hey, I just got involved with a technology company. I think there's a ton of money to be made here. If I send you a video, would you watch it? Or I need to talk to you about this. I would love your feedback. Then follow up. Hey, listen, what did you like best? And you're taking their temperature. You're getting a sense for how the video resonated with them. And then just have a conversation, which ultimately it will lead to inviting them to an overview, unless they just decide, you know what, I want to be a customer. But how I usually try to transition that so they understand that it is a business opportunity is to build the value, okay? And this is where part of the skill set and the practice comes in. So if you help build value, you can get them to the overview. Through the trainings, you will learn how to better do this. So if this is a point that you feel like you're struggling at, you aren't getting people to be open to seeing the video or getting to the overview, typically you're either saying too much or you're not building enough value. So again, but that kind of comes with time and practice. So social media. Well, we know that this pretty much runs and rules the world and it's not going anywhere. So it's something you definitely want to work to become comfortable with if you're not yet. We have team members that come on that aren't even on Facebook and we help them get set up because it's not that it has to be just Facebook. There's tons of social media sites out there, but it's definitely a key to an easier time having some success because it allows you to connect with people from your home office or living room and connect with people around the world. Like there's no other way that this can be done as easily. So maybe it's Facebook, maybe it's Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, LinkedIn, like all of it is social media. So here's a few tips that we've learned along the way. So make sure you have a good profile picture. It should be of you and a nice picture if possible, not like of your cat, because when you're creating conversations with people, a lot of times they're going to come and check you out. And you see like, okay, what kind of person is this? Okay, or if maybe they're seeking you out because you had a conversation with them on one platform and now they're trying to look you up on Facebook. Okay, so a nice profile pic, a decent cover photo. And as you're looking at your page, you got to, as you start to have your own business, think about it like this is what people's representation is going to be of you. If you wouldn't want to have a bunch of negative posts and stuff on there because that's not going to attract somebody to want to join your business. So always kind of think of what image you are relaying to the world about who you are. Okay, then it's about so posting and whatnot, it's about creating curiosity or attraction marketing. If you wouldn't say something to somebody in person at a business meeting, you don't want to write it on your Facebook wall. So you don't want to just be like, hey, come join my business, click this link, watch it, I want to work with you. That's not, people are just like, So you want to create that curiosity again. So an example of a post to put that we've found had some success is, and again, make this you. This is just an example idea, but I have just gotten involved with a new technology company. I believe in multiple streams of income. I have never been more excited about my future. If anyone is looking to add additional revenue streams, I'm happy to share. So you can see that if somebody's like, it's not saying what it is. It's not saying, hey, I'm joined world and I'm selling the Hilo, but it's just creating curiosity. And then when somebody reaches out to you, you take the conversation offline and just message them and then eventually get them on the phone. Okay. Then what we found, a couple days after this, because this should typically generate a little bit of interest, is to do a Facebook Live. And I know this can be scary for people. It's just after you do your first one, it gets so much better. We do have tips on here. There's a link that can help you through that a little bit on how to do those well and just how to do them in general. But with the Facebook Live, then you can share a little bit more details about this and why you're excited. But again, just leave it at that. Not join my team. Here's I want you all to work with me, that kind of thing. But just by sharing your story, why you're excited about it, that's going to attract people better. So stay compliant. If you're talking about any things that the device can do, you want to put a product disclosure on there. If you're talking about incomes that could be made, you need to put the income disclosure on and ask your sponsor for those. You want to, the purpose and the biggest bang for your buck is to get a lot of engagement on your posts. So to do that, you interact with them. So an engagement means getting people to like and to comment and even share possibly. Any interaction like that, it basically keeps your posts alive in people's news feeds. And so if somebody comments, you want to also comment back and say like, thank you for the comment, or awesome, love to send you some info. But again, you don't post it in the comments, you send them a private message right away. Anybody that interacts with that post. Okay, anything you can do to even promote engagement on your post will be good. If in the post you can use some emojis, that actually has been shown to increase how much it's seen by like 30%, and not a ton. You don't look like a kindergartner, but throwing in a couple of emojis in your post can be helpful. When you friend request somebody, make sure you don't just send a bunch of friend requests out. So you with the idea that, okay, I have more friends now, they're going to see my posts. With the Facebook algorithms, they won't see your posts unless you start to interact with them. So if you send a friend request and they accept it, make sure you send them a message. Hey, thanks for connecting. I see we have this mutual friend, Joey. Like, you know what? Great person. Thanks for the connection. Send something. So and continue. And on that note, anybody that you really want in your business too, I would go and, interact with their page. Make sure you're commenting on their stuff, liking it, because again, that's going to make it so they see your posts more often. So then, as far as another common question is, how often should I post about the business? So typically a rule of thumb is 80-20. So 80% of the time, personal posts, kind of about your personal brand, who you are, that kind of stuff, and then 20% about your business. And the last thing I want to mention is within LinkedIn, is make sure to not connect with other World Global Network people. I know it's a tendency to want to friend them up by, pressing connect when you see other people. That will create us all to have the same connections then, and then we're all prospecting the same group of people. But if you don't connect with anybody in World, you have your own unique connections and people to talk to. So that's just one tip that most people don't know. All right, so that's some information about social media. So to recap kind of what we've gone through, it's so important to let the process build the value. I think I said it already, but one of the biggest mistakes is just saying too much. When people just kind of vomit at the mouth, people form an opinion and it's not based on all the facts of what we have here, and then they miss out on the opportunity. So it's just about sharing that 3-minute video. This is your only job. Let the video do the explaining for you. So picture a skeptic, okay? They might agree to watch the video, and then you call them and you just bomb it all over them, and you're so excited and you want them to join your team, and the Hilo does this and this and this and this and this, and they might just say, no thanks, I don't really have money right now, I'm just really too busy, all those kind of excuses. So if you start hearing this before they've even seen anything, typically it means you have said too much, okay? But if you just call a friend, a family member, and just keep it simple. Hey, listen, have you heard of the Hilo? No? Oh my gosh. If I send you a 2-minute video, would you take a look at it and let me know what you think? And if they start asking questions, I just usually would say, now if I try to explain it, I'm just going to confuse you. The video does a way better job. I'll just shoot it over to you and give you a call in a half hour. Something like that. Okay, so just super casual. It shouldn't take much to get somebody to take a peek at that video. And then when you follow up, you just say, hey, what did you like best? And oftentimes we'll hear stuff like, Oh wow, like that's crazy that technology that we have that. Like my mom could really use something like that, or my dad needs this, or does it really do all that? And you'll say yes and just kind of agree. And yeah, I really like that feature too. And then how you can kind of get them to see if they're open to the business and just say, okay, another question for you. Are you making more money than you can spend right now? And most people will say no. And you say, are you open to making more money? We have a meeting tonight online, 8 o'clock Central Time, and it's going to explain the business side behind this. And I don't care if you join or if you choose to get involved. All that matters is that you did take a look. I just want to be able to show you the information and then we can chat. So a skeptic, if done properly, should be able to get to the overview just because they want to be open to checking it out. Okay, and this is again where the trainings and repeating the process will help you skill up and get better at this. And I apologize for all the notifications that keep popping up. So again, the process, share the 3-minute video and you can find the 3 and then the 7-minute will pop up right after at myhelodevice.com. Okay, invite your prospects to join a live Zoom then after that and to see the business overview. And we have recorded ones too if the live ones don't work with their timing. So if needed, get your prospects on a 3-way call. The 3-way calls are so powerful, okay? It's somebody that's an experienced upline, whether it's a team developer or diamond, just ask your sponsor if, some of them are comfortable doing it. If not, they will know who is. And it really provides that third-party validation also. So people you're getting to see the information trust you, but sometimes it helps to hear it from somebody else also. So it helps, that way you don't have to feel like you need to answer questions or know it all at all. Just as soon as they're like, yeah, this seems really cool, but how do you make money? Or whatever questions people start to asking, that then you just say, you know what, do you mind if I introduce you to my business partner? She's been doing this way longer and we can learn it together. And even if you can answer, sometimes it's better just to do that because it's not what you can do that matters, it's what duplicates. And now that person just saw, wow, I don't need to be an expert. And going back to after the webinar, I want to mention it's really important to after the webinar to follow up on the phone. Don't try and do that piece over Messenger, okay? You want to get a good temperature again of what they're feeling, what their thoughts are, and just ask, how do you see yourself fitting into the equation? And then just be quiet. Just listen to what they're saying. And then again, if they start asking questions, just say, that's a great question, and then get them on a 3-way, okay? So it's just, the process really builds the value. It's a very simple 3-step process here. So to reiterate, know your role. Your job is not to explain the helo. It's not to field questions. It's not to sell your friends on the product or a company in this opportunity. You just have one job, to notify your friends and family that you've started a new business. Invite them to watch the 3-minute video and then invite them to the next webinar and jump on a 3-way call, and that's it. That's it. It's the amount of times that you complete that process. Some will, some won't. So what? Letting go of the outcome, but just being committed to the process. Okay, so thinking about that skeptic again. If you got them to watch the 2-minute video and then the overview, think about all the information they're learning that they would not have otherwise. Okay, they're now learning that, oh my gosh, we actually have a Toshiba partnership, and this person has had success here that I'm listening to, and they're learning that we're a publicly traded company and where the stock is going, and that we're going to be the first ever network marketing company at the Consumer Electronics Show. So very slowly we're chipping away at that skepticism, and by the time you then follow up, they're actually ready to make a well-informed decision. And they may still not choose to join your business, but at least they've made an informed decision, and you know that you did your job. Okay, you let the process build the value. All right. So the last part is then enrolling new partners. So you basically just go to your store, which is your userid.worldgn.com, pick a pack, and then it creates the profile. There's a link here to the application. Some people will send people right to their site to enroll themselves. I like to kind of keep in control of the process because I know sometimes people say, yep, I'm in, I want to enroll, and then life just gets busy for them. So as soon as I hear someone say, yep, I'm ready to do this, okay, great, what's your shipping address? And I start grabbing their information. So then I can, I keep them to help them get actually enrolled before life gets busy for them. And then I just go and get them enrolled and start the process over. So one thing I want to mention here that's so important is that you have to be absolutely sure you've shared the benefits of purchasing the premium or the family pack. So when you're new, or if you aren't confident in navigating this conversation, pull in an upline for sure. There are significant advantages to coming in this way. And the bottom line is it allows you to maximize the comp plan. So if you treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. And what you do is going to duplicate, okay? So it will help maximize the comp plan. You're going to earn the 20% commission. If you're building with that, you'll earn those within your first two. Plus, to have an extra device or two on hand, whether it's to give to a spouse and then, or give to a family member, or you can just sell the extras. But again, what you set in motion carries in motion, and when you believe in the value of that, the family and premium pack, they will too. So we see every once in a while some people just aren't comfortable with this conversation, or they actually think it's expensive to do that themselves. And yes, $1,300 or $2,000, it's no drop in the bucket for most people. I totally respect and understand that. For us, the same. It was, okay, it's going on a card and we're going to work hard in our first month to pay that back. Okay, but when you, in the big picture, the truth is $1,300 to $2,000 is not a lot of money to start a business. It is a one-time investment, especially because you can turn around and earn all that back in your first week or first month, depending on how fast you get your boots to the ground. And if you're not comfortable with this yet, it's okay. Just bring someone else to help explain it until that is how you become comfortable with that conversation. Okay. It's just so important. We see when people start building with single bands, they just duplicate the single bands, and they're making a lot less money than those that are building with the, treating it truly like, hey, I have my own technology business, and it's just a different level of success typically. So the process then from there duplicates. You get your new team member in, and now you send them the welcome letter that you got. It's so simple. Okay, we're going to go through here. We're going to set up their launch. It's going to link them to all the resources they need. And it's a beautiful, easy, it's how we create, again, that leveraged time and income. So there's also so much support available to you, which is the last piece of this document. Lots of stuff you can click through on here on the top part. Don't spend a ton of time before you get started doing all that. Just know that, like, as you do your reach outs, you can come in and dig through here or see where you might need some additional resources and whatnot. The bottom part is our schedule every week. So it is so incredibly important to stay plugged in. I cannot reiterate this enough. When I have the conversations, or people frustrated or reaching out to me and like, Lee, I'm not having success, blah, blah, 95% of the time, it's people that aren't staying plugged in. They haven't joined a President's Update on Mondays in 2 months. They have really no idea what's going on right now. And that's why they're not really having success. Okay, though these resources are all here to help you build your confidence, build those skill sets that we've talked about. It's so, and again, you don't have to get on them live if the time doesn't work out for you. You can watch the recorded versions at your convenience. So try not to ever miss this stuff throughout the week, and especially the ones that are, I think, are the most important. Mondays at noon for the President's Update, and Wednesdays at noon for the weekly corporate communications. Jumping on Monday nights, we always have a topic Q&A time with Tanya, our blind president, or Saturday the World Orientation training also is, again, a good to kind of continue to hear to help build your belief and build your skill sets and whatnot. And belief is truly the key to this business, honestly. If you don't believe in yourself and in what we are doing, no one else is going to believe in you and want to join you as well. So if you struggle, if you're coming in and you're just like, I just don't know if I'm going to be good at this, and you really lack the confidence, the only way to build that belief, and I understand that's not super uncommon, but it's just to start taking action and plugging into the calls and events. That's where you will grow and build that. Okay, and also the events. They are going to be absolutely key to building your belief. And when you build your confidence, that's when you build your confidence. The events are like, we are led by the best in the world here, and our events are like nothing else out there. Like, you have to get to the events. Plug into the calls. Again, all of this stuff. Just make sure, and people tell us all the time, like, wow, I can't believe how much support is available to me. You're going to be blown away. Okay, so believe in yourself, believe in this opportunity. There's nothing like this in the world. And I wish I could take all that I have in my head and all the calls that I've been privy to and the meetings and the conventions, I haven't missed a single one, and just wrap it up and implant it in your head and give it to you as a gift, because with what I know, I promise you this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Okay? And as you might see some promotions and people coming out that enrolled and they became a president in a week, know that there's a backstory there. Every overnight success has a backstory. They have likely built a network for years. You can't shortcut that process of success. So you just will have your journey here too. And we're excited to partner with you on that journey. Okay, the last thing I'm going to leave you with is some of these quotes here, and this is why I'm so consumed with personal development. It's just so important. I make sure I spend time daily, whether it's 10 minutes right before I go to bed to read something. Maybe I do it first thing in the morning, or as I'm running, or go walk on my treadmill and read or watch something. You have to pour into yourself. If you're not willing to grow yourself, I actually might have to save you the heartache and tell you that you might want to find something else to do. This business truly is a personal development program with a compensation plan attached to it. What are you reading? What do you have playing where you drive? What are you filling your mind with? Okay, your vibe attracts your tribe. So you have to start programming your mind to dream bigger, believe bigger. Go read GoPro, read The 4-Year Career, a book called Beach Money. Download Jim Rohn's Network Marketing. Fill your mind with the right content and get rid of the weeds and start planting seeds that will allow you to harvest a different future. Hey, it's all about that vibration you put out into the world. You have to influence what your thoughts are, because your thoughts control your actions, and your actions dictate your habits, and then your habits will run your life. So beyond that, we are so grateful to have you here, and we just really look forward to partnering with you and see you walk across that stage at our next event. Take care and let us know what more we can do to support you.